Menglong's death exposes his hidden baby. Will the industry silence the child too? The world of fame thrives on glitter, spotlight, and carefully crafted images, but when tragedy strikes, hidden truths have a way of clawing their way out of the shadows. The devastating death of beloved actor Menglong shocked millions, but what came after shook the industry to its very core: the revelation that he had a baby. It's no longer about just the grief of losing a star, it's now about a child who never asked to be born into this chaos, a child who may become the most vulnerable victim of the industry's silence. Will the same forces that muted Menglong in life now attempt to silence his child too? Or will this shocking truth finally tear open the walls of secrecy surrounding the entertainment world? Menglong's passing still feels unreal. His fans, his colleagues, and even strangers who only knew him through his dramas describe his death as if the sky itself dimmed. His soft voice, his gentle smile, and the sincerity he brought to every role made him a rare figure in a world often obsessed with perfection over authenticity. But while the public mourned, whispers began to grow louder. Whispers that Menglong had left behind not just a grieving family, not just a career frozen in time, but a child. At first, it seemed impossible. How could someone so scrutinized by the cameras of the industry keep such a massive part of his life hidden? Yet, the more the pieces fell into place, the more the truth began to look undeniable. Sources close to Menglong revealed that he had quietly fathered a baby, kept hidden from the public eye for fear of backlash, scandal, and, worst of all, the wrath of the industry. It wasn't about shame, nor about abandoning responsibility. Those who knew him insist that he was a devoted father in private. He allegedly visited the child whenever he could, despite grueling schedules and the endless eyes of handlers and managers. Some even claim that he recorded videos, lullabies, and messages for the baby, fearing that one day he wouldn't be there to raise them himself. And now that fear has become reality. The world knows Menglong is gone, but the existence of his baby introduces a new question. Will the industry protect this child or bury them in silence just as it has done with countless truths before? For years, the entertainment machine has thrived by carefully polishing stars into images of perfection. Scandals are erased, mistakes hidden, and inconvenient truths are brushed under the carpet. The death of Menglong could have been written into the same script, a tragic loss remembered fondly then forgotten in time. But the revelation of his baby is not something so easily erased. Industry insiders whisper of damage control meetings already being held in dim rooms. Executives, PR managers, and handlers are allegedly arguing over how to respond. Some argue that denying the child's existence is the safest route, while others see danger in ignoring what may already be leaking out online. And yet, the heart of the issue isn't just about the industry's image, it's about a child's future. The biggest fear among fans and insiders is simple: that the child will become the next victim of silence. Without Menglong to protect them, will the baby's identity be erased, their existence denied? Or will the public rally to ensure the child grows up knowing their father's love, even if only through stories and memories? Imagine the weight this child now carries, born into secrecy, growing up under the shadow of a father whose death shook millions and possibly shielded from the truth of who they really are. Some speculate the child may be sent abroad, hidden away from the limelight entirely. Others wonder if the baby's mother will step forward, breaking the silence and risking everything. The possibilities are endless, but they all circle around the same chilling truth: the industry doesn't forgive those who reveal its secrets. What little is known about the child's mother remains a mystery. Some say she was a quiet woman outside the industry, someone Menglong fell for in a rare moment of freedom. Others claim she was once part of the entertainment world herself, but was forced out after becoming pregnant. No matter her identity, the reality remains the same. She is now alone, carrying the burden of raising their child while facing unimaginable pressure to stay silent. If she dares to step forward, she risks not only her safety but the future of the baby itself. But if she stays quiet, Menglong's child may never know the full truth of their father, a man who lived with a heart too big for the cage the industry built around him. Since whispers of the baby began to spread, fans have been relentless. Social media is flooded with hashtags demanding answers: #Justice for Menglong Baby, #TSilenceTheChild, #Menglong Legacy. For them, this isn't about scandal, it's about legacy. They believe the child has every right to be acknowledged, to inherit the truth of who their father was, and to be protected from the same silencing forces that many fear led to Yu's downfall. Picture the scene: a child barely old enough to understand loss, clutching onto a lullaby sung by a father whose voice now only exists in recordings. A mother torn between protecting her baby and honoring the truth. Fans lighting candles at vigils, whispering prayers not just for Yu Menglong's soul but for the baby he left behind. It's the kind of heartbreak that digs deeper the longer you sit with it. The question becomes not whether the industry will stay silent, but whether the world will allow it. What happens next will determine more than just the fate of one child. It will test the entire entertainment system. Can an industry built on silence and shadows learn to face truth with compassion? Or will it continue to sacrifice innocence for image? Already, independent journalists are digging. Clues are surfacing: a document here, a leaked photo there. The truth is becoming harder to contain, and the more the industry tries to cover it, the more determined fans become to uncover it. For the first time, the spotlight is not on a star's performance but on a child's survival. Yu Menglong was more than an actor. He was a gentle soul who brought kindness into a cutthroat world. To erase his child would be to erase part of him. If the industry truly wants to honor his memory, it cannot silence this truth. The child deserves to grow up knowing they were loved, knowing their father's legacy wasn't just in the dramas he starred in but in the life he created. The silence surrounding Yu Menglong's death was already unbearable. To silence his baby too would not just be cruel, it would be unforgivable. So now the question stands, raw and unflinching: will the industry silence Yu Menglong's child? Or will the truth finally break free, forcing a system built on control to bow to something greater: humanity, compassion, and love? The answer remains unwritten, but one thing is certain: the world is watching. And this time, silence may not be enough to bury the truth. The revelation of Yu Menglong's hidden child left fans breathless, but it also opened a wound that refused to close. What had once been a simple tragedy, the sudden death of a beloved actor, had transformed into a storm of unanswered questions, emotional pleas, and an unstoppable hunger for truth. The whispers of a baby became more than a rumor. They became an undeniable echo in the hearts of those who loved him. And with every day that passes, that echo grows louder. The world now stares at the cracks in the polished wall of the industry, wondering how much more it has hidden, and how much more it will try to bury. Imagine the scene: a small apartment in a quiet corner of the city. A woman sits by the window with a baby cradled in her arms. The child stares, reaching out instinctively, searching for the warmth of a father who will never come home. In the corner of the room lies a small box, filled with letters, voice recordings, and maybe even a small gift, all left behind by Yu Menglong himself. This is not just speculation. This is what many close to him insist he prepared for. He knew the dangers of the world he lived in. He knew that silence was the price of survival. And yet his silence is now broken. As the baby coos softly in the arms of its mother, the world outside is restless. Fans have begun holding vigils not just for Yu Menglong but for the baby. Posters read, "Don't silence the child." Candles are lit, prayers whispered, and voices rise together demanding truth. Social media explodes with theories, some claiming the industry is already moving to erase any trace of the baby's existence. Others insist the mother has gone into hiding, fearing for her safety. But through all the speculation, one truth stands above the rest: Yu Menglong loved his child. Those closest to him have revealed that in his final months, he often spoke of the baby with a tenderness rarely seen in the cutthroat world of entertainment. He described small details: the baby's tiny hands, their first smile, the way their presence gave him strength when exhaustion nearly consumed him. It was this love that made him both hopeful and terrified. Hopeful that one day he could openly acknowledge his child, terrified that the industry would rip even that away from him. The emotional weight of this revelation is crushing. Fans who once admired his roles now cling to the idea of him as a father, a man who carried a secret joy in his heart while the world only saw his professional mask. His dramas now feel different. When he looked into the camera, was he thinking of the child he couldn't publicly embrace? When he sang or smiled, was it partly for them? The industry, of course, has remained silent. No official statements, no acknowledgement, only whispers of protecting the image. But whose image? Menglong's or their own carefully controlled empire? The silence feels heavier than ever, and it has begun to break people. One fan's words went viral: "If you silence his child, you kill him a second time." This sentiment has sparked waves of anger. People are demanding that the baby be acknowledged as part of Menglong's legacy. They want transparency, they want compassion, and above all, they want the truth to finally matter more than image. And yet, the forces behind the curtain are powerful. The idea of the child being sent away grows stronger with each day. Some fear the baby will be hidden abroad, cut off from the father's legacy entirely. Others believe the mother will be forced into a silence even deeper than Menglong endured. The possibility that the baby may grow up never knowing the depth of their father's love chills fans to the core. But there are also glimmers of defiance. Anonymous sources claim that Menglong left behind not just recordings and letters but evidence, undeniable proof of his child's existence, meant to surface if the truth were ever at risk of being buried. Could this be the final gift he left behind, a safeguard for the baby he adored? Picture this: a video leaks online. In it, Menglong's soft voice speaks directly to the camera, cradling a small infant in his arms. His eyes shine with a mixture of exhaustion and love, his smile tender but heavy with fear. "If you're watching this," he whispers, "know that you are my greatest treasure. No matter what the world says, you are my child and I am your father." Such a video has not yet surfaced, but fans believe it exists. And the mere possibility of it has sent the internet into a frenzy. People wait, restless, refreshing feeds, hoping to see their beloved star's truth finally break free. The child, still too young to understand, has already become a symbol, not just of Menglong's hidden life, but of every star who has been forced into silence. Every story that has been erased, every love that was buried, every truth locked away in the name of control. The baby is no longer just a baby. They are a living reminder that the world deserves honesty, that no amount of money or power can hide humanity forever. What happens next will not just decide the baby's future. It will decide how history remembers Menglong. Will he be remembered as only an actor, or as a man who, despite the cages of fame, chose to love fiercely and quietly? Fans believe the answer lies in ensuring his child is not erased. His legacy cannot be scripted by the industry anymore. It belongs to the people who loved him, and to the child who carries his blood. As vigils grow larger and online campaigns grow louder, it is becoming clear that this time silence will not be enough. The story of Menglong's death was already heartbreaking, but the story of his baby has transformed it into something larger, a movement, a cry for justice, and a reminder that love cannot be silenced forever. And somewhere in that small apartment by the window, a child sleeps peacefully, unaware that they are at the center of a battle between silence and truth. Unaware that millions of strangers whisper prayers for them. Unaware that their father, though gone, may still find a way to protect them through the voices of those who refuse to forget. The world watches, breath held, waiting for the next chapter. And as it waits, one question grows louder: will the baby be silenced, or will they become the voice that finally breaks the industry's walls? The answer is not yet known. But the fight for that answer has already begun.